Hold on to your seats, because what you're about to read is a jaw-dropping, heart-pounding saga of political implosion that's shaking the very foundations of the United Kingdom. Rachel Reeves, the once promising Labour Chancellor, has plunged into the abyss of disgrace, her career unravelling in a spectacular blaze of scandal, violence, and economic ruin. What began as a humiliating showdown in Parliament has erupted into a full-blown catastrophe, an unprecedented crisis that's left the nation teetering on the edge of financial collapse and Reeves herself staring down the barrel of a courtroom nightmare. This isn't just a story of failure, it's a thunderous exposé of incompetence, aggression, and a betrayal so profound it sparked outrage across every corner of Britain. Before we dive into this whirlwind of chaos, let me make one thing crystal clear. You need to subscribe to this channel right now. Why? Because we're peeling back the curtain on the most explosive political meltdown of our time, delivering unfiltered truth straight to your screen. If you don't hit that subscribe button, you'll miss the next shocking twist in this unfolding disaster. And trust me, you won't forgive yourself when the whole world's talking about it tomorrow. Subscribe, join the fight for accountability, and let's unravel this madness together. Because the stakes have never been higher. Now, let's plunge into the fiery wreckage of Rachel Reeves' political journey. Picture this: Westminster, the hallowed halls of power, transformed into a battleground of vitriol and violence. It all kicked off with a blistering parliamentary showdown that will go down in history as the moment Reeves' credibility was torched beyond recognition. Shadow Chancellor Mel Stride, a relentless force of nature, stepped into the ring armed with a barrage of cold, hard facts and a verbal flamethrower aimed straight at Reeves' crumbling economic empire. He didn't just criticize her, he dismantled her, piece by excruciating piece, exposing her policies as a house of cards collapsing under the weight of their own absurdity. Inflation soaring to dizzying heights, taxes crushing the life out of working families, an energy crisis plunging millions into despair. Stride laid it all bare, leaving Reeves trembling, speechless, and utterly humiliated before a packed chamber of stunned onlookers. But the real bombshell? What happened next didn't just rock Westminster. It sent seismic shockwaves ripping through the entire nation. Witnesses, credible, horrified witnesses, report that after storming out of the Commons in a blind rage, Reeves hunted down Stride in the shadowy corridors of Parliament. What followed was pure, unadulterated insanity. Fueled by fury and desperation, Reeves allegedly unleashed a physical assault on Stride, striking him in a fit of aggression so brazen it's left the country gasping in disbelief. Yes, you read that right. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, the woman tasked with steering Britain's economy, reportedly turned a political clash into a fistfight. Official reports now confirm she's hurtling toward a courtroom showdown, with legal experts warning that criminal charges could land her behind bars. This isn't just a scandal. It's a political apocalypse. Let's rewind for a moment and set the stage for this unprecedented collapse. Reeves took the reins as Chancellor with grand promises of stability and prosperity, painting herself as the savior of a nation battered by economic woes. But instead of delivering hope, she's unleashed a tsunami of despair. The cost of living crisis has spiraled into a monster of epic proportions, devouring household budgets and pushing families to the brink of ruin. Energy bills have skyrocketed by a staggering 6.4%, slamming the average household with an annual cost of £1,849, a crushing burden that's left pensioners shivering in their homes and parents scrambling to feed their kids. Inflation's out of control, food prices are surging, and wages are stagnating, forcing more Brits than ever to turn to food banks just to survive. And who's to blame? Rachel Reeves, the architect of this economic Armageddon. Mel Stride didn't mince words during that fateful Commons debate. With the precision of a sniper, he zeroed in on every catastrophic flaw in Reeves' playbook. He tore into her refusal to tackle soaring energy costs, her obsession with punishing tax hikes, and her baffling inability to grasp the chaos she's unleashed on businesses and workers alike. "This is a chancellor who's lost the plot," he roared, his voice echoing through the chamber as Reeves shrank in her seat, her face a mask of shame and defeat. Stride's takedown was so ruthless, so devastating, that political analysts are calling it a masterclass in demolition, a moment that stripped Reeves of every shred of authority she once claimed. And when she couldn't counter his onslaught, when the weight of her failures crashed down around her, she didn't just falter, she snapped. That snap led to the now infamous hallway clash. Multiple sources, insiders who saw it all unfold, paint a chilling picture. Reeves, her eyes blazing with rage, cornering Stride like a wounded animal lashing out in its final moments. Words turned to shouts, shouts turned to shoves, and then, bam! A physical blow that's become the defining image of her downfall. Westminster staffers stood frozen, jaws dropped, as the Chancellor of the Exchequer crossed a line no one thought possible. This wasn't just a loss of composure, it was an act of sheer desperation from a woman drowning in her own incompetence. And now, with the Metropolitan Police circling and court proceedings looming, Reeves' future isn't just bleak, it's apocalyptic. The public's reaction? Pure, unbridled fury. Across the UK, families are reeling from the fallout of Reeves' disastrous reign. Pensioners, their winter fuel payments cruelly slashed, are screaming betrayal as they face a brutal winter without heat. Workers, battered by relentless tax increases, are branding her a modern-day Robin Hood in reverse, stealing from the poor to fund Labour's reckless spending spree. In one mortifying public appearance, Reeves tried to spin her policies as a boon for the working class, only for Stride to swoop in with a wrecking ball of truth, debunking her claims in real time and leaving her stammering before a crowd of jeering citizens. "Daylight robbery," they shouted, their voices a chorus of outrage as Reeves retreated in disgrace. And it gets worse, much worse. Local councils, emboldened by Reeves' economic mismanagement, are set to slap taxpayers with a minimum 4.99% council tax hike come April. 9 out of 10 authorities are jumping on this punishing bandwagon, a move Stride likened to Margaret Thatcher's despised poll tax, a comparison that sent Labour into a tailspin of panic. Retailers are sounding the alarm too, warning of a fresh wave of price hikes as Reeves' April increase in employer national insurance contributions threatens to strangle businesses and jack up the cost of everything from bread to boots. Food inflation spiralling, energy prices are a runaway train, and Reeves? She's too busy dodging courtroom gavels to even pretend she's got a plan. Let's talk about those pensioners again, because this is where Reeves' cruelty hits its peak. Stride dropped a bombshell in Parliament, revealing how she scrapped universal winter fuel payments, a lifeline for the elderly, leaving millions to face freezing nights with empty wallets. Advocacy groups like Age UK are apoplectic, calling it devastating news, while disability charity Scope has slammed Reeves for turning a blind eye to the vulnerable. Stride demanded she reverse this heartless cut, but Reeves? She had nothing, no defense, no apology, just a deafening silence followed by that violent outburst against the man who dared call her out. Even Labour's own Energy Secretary, Ed Miliband, is floundering, his vague promises of a £150 warm homes discount drowned out by the howls of a nation betrayed. The economic devastation is a horror show that keeps on giving. Reform UK's Nigel Farage is circling like a shark, warning that Reeves' blind devotion to the net zero agenda will send energy prices into the stratosphere, punishing families already on their knees. Businesses are buckling, workers are despairing, and Labour's internal panic is reaching fever pitch. With local elections in May looming, the party staring down the barrel of annihilation, voters in Scotland and Wales are abandoning ship, disgusted by Reeves' failures. If inflation keeps climbing and mortgage costs surge, the public's rage could ignite a political uprising that buries Labour for good. And with this assault scandal dominating headlines, their electoral hopes are plummeting faster than Reeves' reputation. Mel Stride's parliamentary annihilation of Rachel Reeves wasn't just a debate, it was a defining moment that's rewritten the rules of British politics. His surgical precision tore through her facade, exposing a chancellor so out of her depth she's become a national liability. The fallout still reverberating, with analysts openly questioning if she can cling to power, or if her tenure's already a smoking ruin. History might brand her the most catastrophic failure in modern British politics, a name synonymous with chaos and shame. But her biggest battle? It's not in Parliament anymore, it's in the courtroom, where justice could deliver the final, fatal blow. This is Rachel Reeves' reckoning, a tale of arrogance, incompetence, and a fall so spectacular it's left a nation in shock. Stay subscribed, because this roller coaster's far from over, and we'll be here for every heart-stopping twist.